the Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
Good evening, everyone. Bob Kurtz, Bill Kay, Jeff Gastineau, and Scotty Miller, the whole crew here at Arnie's in Rensselaer, right across from St. Joseph's College, for the Coach's Cage program on 3kgthecage.com. You can check us out on our own website or go to our Facebook page at 3KG Community Broadcasting, and you can listen to us live there as well. We're going to wrap up the football season with Chris Meeks and James Broyles, and then kick into girls basketball with some of the area coaches there. And Billy, first of all, good to have you back. How you been?
Thank you. Gotten a rebound a little bit and feeling better. Hope it stays that way.
Absolutely. We need you here. So, well,
I miss it.
We say hello and goodbye here one last time to Chris Meeks. Chris, things didn't turn out the way you wanted to at Andrean, 28-2. Had a great first quarter. Tell us what your thoughts on the game a week or a few days have passed now.
Yeah, going into the game, we knew that they were very highly regarded. We got all their game films, watched all their game films, and you could see why. They have outstanding speed, especially on the back end of their defense. We thought up front we would match up good with them, which I think we did. But third play of the game, our left guard went down, our senior guard. And, if you followed Bomber football much this year, we've got a lot of very good football players, a lot of young players. And, unfortunately, that was one of our few seniors, and he went down and couldn't play the rest of the game. And that's a very important position in our offense is guard. So when he went down, we had to put a freshman in, moved that freshman to left tackle, took the starting left tackle, moved him down to guard. And now it affects us in two different positions and hurt us pretty bad as far as to the left side because we didn't have a true guard in there. But, not jumping too far ahead, we started the game. They won the coin flip, thus got to kick with the 35-mile-per-hour wind.
It was a miserable night, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, right from the get-go, we had our backs against the wall going into a strong wind, going into a pretty good rain. But to our kids' credit, we went on a beautiful 19-play, 79-yard drive, shoved the ball right down their throats. I mean, to be honest with you. Got down to the 6-inch line. We actually had first and goal from the 5, and we couldn't punch it in. Got fourth and goal at the 6-inch line, and number 9 for them blew up the play, tackled us 2 yards deep. To our kids' credit, our defense on their second play got a safety. Jordan Cree got in there, sacked the quarterback, and we got our 2 points. So there for a short time, we were up 2-0, and it's been fun if the game would have ended like that 2-0. But unfortunately,
that drive took up most of the quarter, didn't it?
Yeah, almost 9.5 minutes. So from that standpoint, everything was pretty darn good, other than not finishing out the drive. So it was important that we had some type of success, and we did. The 2-0 lead was important. I thought we played them tooth and nails the first half. They scored probably 3/4 of the way through the second quarter, and they held a 7-2 lead at halftime.
And that was on a fourth down play too.
That was on a fourth down play. Our defense did a nice job, but their quarterback did a nice job of faking to their running back. We converged on him, and then he just tucked it and ran around the end for a score. So they're up 7-2 at halftime. We're going to get the ball to start the we're going to kick off to start the second half.
And let me stop you right there because Jeff and I were confused. On the coin flip, what are the options? So what do you do on a coin flip, and what do you do at halftime? I don't quite understand all that.
Okay, so at the start of the game, whoever wins the toss has the choice of taking the ball, going on defense, or deferring to the second half. And I like to defer to the second half. By deferring, you would kick. So it was important to win that coin flip, I thought, to start the game so that you'd have the wind behind you to start that first quarter. But as it turned out, it worked good for us because we did eat up 9.5 minutes on that long drive. So they really didn't have much wind in that first half.
So at halftime, what's the choices then?
At halftime, if you defer, which they did, they want the ball. So then my choice is, do we want to kick with the wind in the third quarter, or do we want to kick with the wind in the fourth quarter?
Okay, and that was a very pivotal thing. That wind was strong.
Yeah. Our thinking was at halftime was, you know, in theory, I'm sure a lot of people think, well, take it in the fourth quarter in case you got to kick a game-winning field goal. Well, we felt like that game could get away from us in the third quarter. So we wanted to kick with the wind, hopefully kick it into the end zone, bury them deep with our defense. We felt like our defense played them tough the first half. But unfortunately, they got a nice return out past the 40-yard line. And, you know, I can't remember if they scored on that exact drive, but the bottom line is they scored in that third quarter to go up 14-2. And then their last two scores, were gambling on fourth downs and stuff like that. But realistically, I think it was a 14-2, 14-7 type game. It was a good game. I thought our kids played hard. They had a little more team speed than us. But, I think for the most part, I think our kids played them pretty tough.
Bob, listening to you guys, I think the point that you brought up in your broadcast was the question of whether Andrean could have kicked off in the third quarter, taking the wind. In other words, not taking the ball. Did they have that option? Wasn't that your question?
Yeah, I just got confused on what can be done at halftime. I didn't know that.
Yes. So, since they deferred to start the game, then yes, there is a choice. But I've never seen a team kick twice in a game like that.
Right.
But yes, in theory they could, Bill.
I guess the only reason would have been because of that.
And you know
wind,
what?
that crazy
Yeah.
wind.
And if it had been on a muddy, messy field, that might have been a great choice. Kick it down there where a team gets buried and can't move the ball very effectively. But
because you couldn't pass in that wind, really, very well.
Well, we did 7 times and completed 3 or 4.
Yeah, I know. And Andrew,
and how we completed them,
right?
Yeah. How we completed them, I don't know.
Yeah.
Every time you didn't know if it was going to slip or
you have to lead about 10 yards.
Yeah,
for the wind. So
yeah, but you know what? We were 4 for 7 passing, so
that was tremendous.
Yeah, but it was disappointing. But coming in, we knew that they were heavily favored, and our kids played their hearts out. And good luck to them in the tournament. But you just hate losing games like that.
Who played well for you?
Let me find my stuff here. All right. So as I said, Tate Drone was 4 for 7 passing for 42 yards. Any completions that night was great success. The fact that we completed 4, I thought was real good. Kelton Hessen, he has been tremendous for us all year. And he missed a couple games with a bad chin bruise that he got at West Lafayette. But he had 80 yards rushing and had 2 catches for us last Friday. So he did a nice job. Really got us going in that first half with some nice runs on the counters. Dylan Kidd, our workhorse, had 65 yards rushing, got over the 1,000-yard mark for a second year in a row. He also had a catch. And then Kenseth Johns had a real nice 21-yard catch, and we were talking about that a little bit ago. I don't know how he did it. It was ruled a catch. Tate was coming off the field. I thought it was interception. I was getting ready to talk to him a little bit about it. The next thing I know, I see the referee signaling first down Rensselaer, and I'm like, I really don't know what just happened here, guys.
Because they're right in front of you.
Yeah. And when you watch the film, you see the Andrean kid going up, catching it, but somehow we end up with it on the ground. So great play by Kenseth. And it's I don't know. It must be a takeaway. Not a reception, but a takeaway. But regardless, we'll take it.
I thought Hessen, he was like a big difference the week before against North Newton, because wasn't he out or hurt for just right before that?
He was out for
towards the end of the regular season.
Yeah, him and Dylan both were out at the same time there, and we were playing.
And when he came back, his route running, he seemed like just made such a difference in your passing game.
He did. I mean, he's a playmaker. So he's a playmaker carrying the ball. He's a playmaker in our kickoff punt returns, but he's also a playmaker receiving. And I think Tate would sit here right now and tell you that's his go-to guy in the passing department. And he would find a way to get open and just had a knack for getting open and catching the ball. And again, if he was in an offense that threw the ball 50 times a game, he would, I think, easily get over 1,000 yards receiving. He's a stud. And he's a kid, too. Like a few of our kids, if they want to go on and play some small college football, there's the opportunities there to do that.
Let's talk about your season. You had a chance to think about it for a while. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought, well, first of all, I thought we got off to a great start. The Kankakee Valley game, I thought our kids came out clicking on all the cylinders, played very well, played very intense for 48 minutes, and I thought beat a pretty good KV team. So that was a nice way to get the season started. I thought we had some nice wins, like over Twin Lakes, and went to Northwestern, had a nice win there, Benton Central. We hit a little bit of a lull in the season, and again, we didn't have much depth. I thought our seniors were pretty darn good. I think we've got some nice underclassmen, but in terms of Friday night experience, we lacked that. We had some kids that played last year that weren't on the team this year for various reasons, and we lost a nice group of seniors last year. So we had a lot of inexperienced kids that got a lot of playing time. So when you look at the success in terms of wins and losses, 6-5, better than a 500 record. It's a winning record. Is it what we wanted? No, we wanted more. But when you look at the whole cumulative season, and the fact that we didn't lose a lot of kids to injuries, but we lost them in one position, that's running back. So when you miss two of your big playmakers, Dylan Kidd and Kelton Hessen, to the likes of West Lafayette and Central Catholic, it's tough for those freshmen and sophomores to step in there, and especially when you don't have much experience, and jump in there and play those highly ranked teams. So to answer your question, we're not totally satisfied, but we felt like our kids competed hard. We feel like we've got a lot of experience, especially coming back next year, and we obviously want more.
Talking with Bomber football coach Chris Meeks. Chris, talk about your seniors.
Yeah, we lose a great group of 9 seniors, and it's an interesting mix. We've got some kids that have been around since knee high, back in black camps and team camps and all the things that we did, and play 4 years of football. We've got a couple soccer kids that decided they wanted just to come out and be a part of it and join us this year. So it's a nice mix. Laken Webb, young man that started for us last year, got all conference mentions last year, played outside linebacker, returned punts. He could not play this year because of an injury. He's a very, very good wrestler. So, I think all of us were in agreement that, if he could play, great, but let's make sure that he's ready for wrestling, and he'll have a great wrestling season this year. So what he could not do on the field, he did a great job of leadership for us. Dylan Kidd, we've talked about a lot, great running back, started for us for 3 years, started actually his freshman year a couple games. So he had a tremendous year, got over the 1,000-yard mark. Tate Drone, 2.5-year starter, did a great job for us at quarterback, and attended a lot of camps through his off-season with Bill Regan, former St. Joe coach. He's a quarterback guru up north. So did a great job for us. Kelton Hessen, we've already talked about him. Really good in all areas, receiving, punt returns, kick returns. Kenseth Johns came out as a freshman, didn't really think it was for him. Didn't play his sophomore year, didn't play his junior year. I was surprised when he came out this year, and boy, what a great addition. We moved him into a tight end position, struggled early in the summer, got better and better, and it really was a weapon for us, especially on those quick little 8-10-yard passes that Tate hit him a lot on. Did a nice job punting as well. Kai Reisner. Kai started off in the Kankakee Valley program when he was young, and ended up coming over here and was a 4-year starter for us at center and did a tremendous job for us offensively. And then he was so valuable for us on defense, we couldn't take him off the field. Played defensive end for us. Ryan Cruz didn't play much offense or defense for us, but was on a lot of our special teams and provided great leadership and did a nice job for us there. Jacob Pickering, as we said, got injured in that last game, played guard for us, also played some defense, 4-year player for us. And then Chris Hendricks, a kid that played soccer, came up one day and said, hey, I want to try this football thing. Can I try it? I said, sure. We're doing dual sports. Came out and did some kicking at the lower levels and played some defensive end at the lower level. So great group of kids, great attitude, great work ethic, tremendous leaders, and I guarantee all 9 of these kids will be successful in life.
Dr. Tate Drone, just the very first thing you said about him, 2.5-year varsity starter. You don't have too many 2.5-year varsity starters at your quarterback position.
No, and you can see him growing year to year, game to game, minute by minute. I mean, you guys saw in the North Noon game, he was hitting some nice passes there in the tournament. And, he'll tell you his passion, his love is basketball, but he's a pretty darn good football player too. And, he did a nice job for us and even learned to play receiver against North Newton, caught a touchdown pass. So that was cool.
What about the future?
I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of kids coming back. We lose a nice group of seniors, but we've got a nice group of freshmen, sophomores, juniors. Jordan Cree led us defensively, had a lot of tackles for loss, sacks. He plays offensive and defensive lines. He's going to be a big part of us next year. Trent Simmons, a kid that did not start last year, played JV. He got moved into a starting offensive position, and then next thing you know, he's playing defense, so he's playing both ways. He's a junior. He'll be back leading us. We have a lot of interior linemen back next year. Adam Ayler and, Logan Kuiper's another one, tight end. So offensive line, I think we're going to be pretty strong there. We'll have to find a couple of replacements, but I think we're going to be strong there. One of the things that we did a lot was play a lot of young kids. A kid like Diego Hernandez Reyes, he got a lot of reps in quality games, and he's going to be a weapon for us next year. And he's going to get a lot of carries, and he's going to be counted on heavily as a sophomore, and he'll be a good one for us. Another kid defensively that had a great season for us is Corbin Matthew. And we saw that last year when he played 8th grade football, that this is a kid that potentially could step in our defensive backfield, be a leader for us. He led us the other night in tackles, I believe, with 11. And he's a kid that probably is going to move into that quarterback position, very athletic. He's a runner. He's a passer. So we'll be working with him, grooming him for that position. But like I said, we've got a lot of young talent. Our middle school was very talented, did a great job this year. Our freshmen, very talented, and we love our sophomores and juniors. So we feel like the future is very, very bright for Bomber football, and we should not drop off. And if anything, we think we'll keep moving forward.
Always to leave the last interview here for you to say whatever you want to say, so I'll let you take it away.
All righty. Do some thank yous here. Want to thank our school administration. They've always been supportive in everything that we do. So thank you to our Mr. Hickman and Mr. Jones and Mr. Craig and the rest of the administration. Our field is immaculate.
No.
And, people always say, do you want field turf? No, man. We have got the perfect field. We really do. And people like Cliff Wood that goes out there and manicures it 2-3 times a week, mowing it. And then Chris and Andrew Northcutt, they put the lines on, and their families are out there helping, and they do a tremendous job of making that thing look great. So, thanks to those guys. Thank you to our chain gang, press box crew, bus drivers, our concession people for all the great jobs that you do. Thank you to Dr. Jack Drone for filming our games from the end zone. In that 35-mile-per-hour wind, he's out there with the 20-foot camera filming, and it's important for us to get shots from the end zone to see our blocking schemes and so on, if we're doing them right. Thanks to our great parents for all you do. Thank you for the Bomber Nation for the great support. Even at East Chicago, our Bomber Nation was there. Thanks to our high school and middle school coaches and all their families. We're very fortunate that we have wives and families that allow us to do this. And so thank you to them. Thanks to my wife and family. They are very supportive in everything we do. That I do. And then thanks to the players and managers. You guys are the ones that make this happen, and we're very proud of everything that you do. So, again, thank you. It was another enjoyable season. And I'm going to throw this out. All right. Give me 60 seconds.
Go ahead.
So one of the things I learned when we won a state championship, anytime you compete in a sport, you do everything you can to win a state championship. That's your goal. I want to win state in wrestling. I want to win state in football. I want to win state in baseball. All right? But when, after we've won state, one of the things that I learned is that, the state is great. Winning state's great. Winning a conference championship's great and all that. But it's the journey. And whether it's this team that won state or in 2014, or this team this year that went 6-5, or the team, 8 years ago that went 2-7 or whatever, it's the journey. And one of the things I found out is that the journey is the fun thing. It is. Growing with these kids, working together, seeing them get better, seeing them become young men, having them come back 5 years later with their kids and stuff, that's the best part. So we'll always strive to win state championships, but you can't judge a season on whether or not you win a state championship. I hope that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, because there's a lot and I'm going to use South Newton as an example. Every time Coach comes in here, Brad Beavis, and they were, 0-10 there for 2-3 years or whatever, he always had a very optimistic attitude, talking about how great his kids are, how much fun he's having and all that. And that's where it's at in the journey. So I hope that makes sense. We're always going to strive to win championships, but it's the journey, and we enjoyed our journey, and we had a great journey this year.
You've got a well-run business, I tell you that. It's a great organization. You guys do a great job there.
We enjoy it.
And Chris,
was there any one moment or funny whatever that kind of stood out that, that you'll maybe connect to, this past year?
There's a lot of funny moments, especially when you have the coaching staff like I have. Yeah, there's a lot of funny moments. But
probably can't say a lot of them on the air, though, right?
No, they're just – but, these kids are great. And, I don't know if it's funny or not, but the older I get, like I just turned 55 August 6th, which is during 2-a-days. So they've got kind of a tradition on my birthday. They know I like Diet Coke, so here comes 55 cans of Diet Coke on my desk.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
I don't know what's going to be like at 85.
Well, Chris, you've always been great for us. We appreciate it. We love doing Bomber football, and have a good off season, okay?
Well, you guys do a great job. We love having you guys back, and look forward to working with you guys many more years to come.
All right. Chris Meeks, Rensselaer Central football coach, back with more. The Coach's Cage right after this on 3kgthecage.com.
For over 60 years, Hamster Group has helped build America. In 1958, a small Northwest Indiana builder began constructing homes. Through the years, by following the motto, quality and integrity you can depend on, Hamster Group has grown. Today, Hamster Group's associated around the country with homes, schools, shopping malls, churches, medical buildings, and more. So for your next project, large or small, and quality and integrity you can depend on, call 219-956-3111 and speak with the experts at Hamster Group.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117, or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
Bob Kurtz, Bill Kay, back with you on The Coach's Cage one last time with James Broyles from the Kankakee Valley Cougars. James, I was hoping for a win, but just didn't happen last Friday, did it? Tell us the score and tell us about the game.
Ended up being 21-0.
South Bend St. Joe,
South
right?
Bend St. Joe at St. Joe, and just like everybody, it seemed like they were dealing with the weather and all that good stuff. But it was a rough one for us. Defensively, we played really well. We come out and we shut down everything they were throwing at us, and it was just impressive to see. Just the kids were flying around, having fun, making plays. But you can only sustain that for so long, and something obviously is going to probably slip, and it did for us. And it was unfortunate because in that first half it's 7-0, and we're moving the ball a little bit here and there. We couldn't get anything sustained offensively, and then they couldn't either. And literally, it was just a missed tackle, and there's your points. And
that's all it takes sometimes.
That's it
in tournament play, right?
Yeah, I mean, and whether it's you're slipping on the turf or you're slipping, you try to dive and it's just wet. I mean, it's just what happens. But it wasn't an effort thing. It was a missed tackle.
Did they have a turf field or natural grass?
They do. It's a turf field. It's a little different turf field than what we have, which it really didn't make a difference. It actually it held up really well. But that literally was our first half. I mean, it was back and forth. It was nonstop, especially right at the beginning. It was 3 and out. I mean, it was nonstop. I will say, what probably hurt us the most, though, especially in the first half, we were always. I mean, they would punt the ball. We were always inside our 10, coming out, and that's hard.
Tough.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Especially in the weather. Oh,
Right.
Wow.
And the one time I think we were on our 3-yard line, and you're sitting here like, son of a gun.
Yeah.
I wish they would just go for it on fourth down. So
James, I know you guys were kind of deep at running back this year. You had capable bodies you throw out
Right.
there. But who that guy that your first stringer at the first game that got hurt?
Logan Parks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did he ever come back?
He didn't.
He didn't. What would have that meant, do you think, the difference to this year? Because, I remember he just started that Rensselaer game
Yeah, he had a great
wow.
game. I mean, even though that game was, it wasn't the best of games for us. He had a great game, and he was over 100 yards on that game, and doing what he wanted to do.
You could tell he was going to be special.
Right. I sit back and think of that myself, just because he did mean a lot to us. But when he went out, Jack Lampka came in,
Yes.
and it was, just a whole another level of play with him. It's something that young man, he's a senior, and he's been dying to be a running back. He's been working his butt off for it, and he gets this opportunity, and he's our starting defensive end, and a very good one, in fact. So he took the ball. He did really well. And that's so I wonder that myself. I sit there, okay, and he got the ball. He's running the ball in that time frame where you're picking up. One was Munster, but then you have Lowell, you have Hobart, you have Andrean, you got Highland. You go into sectional, and he's running the ball very well. He's getting 100 to 150 yards a game in that stretch, which is a big deal. I will say having Logan being able to run the entire year takes a lot of stress off Jack. It just takes it puts him in position defensively where I think he probably plays a little bit better. He's not as tired. There's sometimes I love the kid. He's a workhorse. I'll run him. We're going to run him, and he did. He ran the ball, but we're asking him to go over in defense, and then the style of defense, the way we play for defensive ends, and it's not easy.
How many guys go both ways?
Well, that was another thing. So earlier in the year, we at one point we only had 4 or 5 going both ways, which was, that's enough,
Yeah.
But, because I'm myself and the coaching staff, you got to put the best players on the field. They have to play, and especially at our level. This isn't, middle school. You're trying to get everybody in and everybody's happy. We want to win ball games, and continuously trying to build that success, and that's how you do it. Well, we're out there with 4 or 5 guys, and then as soon as guys start getting hurt, which that started happening to us, well, now a couple of those guys are two-way players. Now you got multiple positions to fill, and I said it from the very beginning. We weren't necessarily a deep team, and it showed at first. We got better as the year went on because a lot more experience. But we were 4 or 5, and at the end of the year, we had probably 8 or 9 kids going both ways. So, that takes a toll on you. But at the same time, they're still kids, and they can play. There's a lot there, and these kids are fired up to play. So, I know they're tired. I know they get tired, but you ask them now, would you rather be tired or playing? They'll tell you.
Let's talk about the season. You had a chance to reflect on a little bit here. What are your thoughts on the KB whole season?
Starting out obviously was a rough one, with Rensselaer, and I think if you'd ask Coach Meeks, that team, as I told him, his team came out and they were fired up to play, and it was unfortunate for us that we just, we weren't. I thought we were, but they were clicking. They were doing everything they wanted to do, and everything was positive in their direction. For us, it wasn't necessarily. And so to start the season off like that, it was, coming into the season, I would have said, we were fired up for it. We still were, but you wanted a better start, and having that happen, kind of just made you sit back for a minute. Kind of, okay, we need we figure out another game plan here. But moving on, though, I thought things went well. I picked it up against Wheeler, picked up a nice win against them. The third game was real interesting because, we got canceled for COVID reasons against South Bend, Washington. So we were scrambling on a Thursday to pick up a team. And lo and behold, it ends up being Lafayette Harrison. Well, that's a pretty good ball club, which, for me, you get rid of South Bend, Washington, and pick up Harrison. You know what? I think it was better for the program. It really tests you, at a time where, we're coming off off a win, and it just tests the kids, and it did. And I will tell you, I really believe that game helped us more than any others this year about showing the kids, your max effort, your focus, your physical play can put you and keep you in a ball game no matter who it is. And that one we went down fairly quick. It was 14-0, 21-0, and by the end of the third, we're down by, I think, was it 24-21 or 26-24, something like that, and we're fighting back, and we get the ball back, and unfortunately, there was some circumstances that happened with a fumble, and that not going to call a kid out on that, but but that right there showed them. This is a 5A. They're good. A 5A school, and we're able to come in there and hang with them and fight back and sustain, their style of play off of understanding the team for a day.
Not bad.
No, it's
they
not
were
bad.
Ranked, weren't they?
Oh yeah, they were ranked 4th or 5th in 5A.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So they're doing really well. And so, but after that, we had North Newton. And I thought, picking up that win. Scott, they have a great. Their team plays hard no matter who's
right
on the field. They just play hard. They do. He does a great job with them over there. And we got in our conference, and you're looking at conference play, and we talked about this during the year. Conference, it's going to be a tough one. And we started out with Munster, and that's where, Jack did really well in the North Newton game, but the Munster game where he exploded. The kid could have 400 yards rushing that game, and it was unbelievable. Take away 3 penalties, and he does have 400 yards rushing. And
That's crazy. Even saying that.
It was unbelievable, man. I ain't kidding you. Yeah, I get you 3 penalties. It'll be 4. I mean, there was 2 penalties. 2 penalties that took away 100 yards rushing.
You seem to get a little more fired up when you talk about Munster.
Well, yeah, I want to tell you that
That's all right.
I love all the teams we play and a lot of the coaching staffs, but that one right there, I'm going to tell you right now, he's not a favorite. I'll say
Not one of your favorites.
not a favorite. No, I don't like to be cussed at halftime.
No.
But yeah, but that set the tone for going into the rest of the conference, and it's tough. Those 3 games are always tough, but man, the kids fought. I know we got handed to us a few times, points wise and the differential, but of the spread. But man, they just fought. They kept fighting. I mean, those teams were clicking at that time, and like the Hobart game. I mean, it's 26-24 at halftime, and jeez, oh Pete, and no one guessed that. I mean, no one thought we were going to be even close to it at halftime, and we were leading the majority of of that game in the first half. So. And of course Andrean's. I mean, another half, and we talked about finishing a game, and I think that's been the whole motto though for our year is we just need to finish a game. If we can finish a game, we'll win. I mean, we have good things surrounding us. Good players, good attitudes, and I mean things are good, but you have to finish a game. One half of a game doesn't cut it.
How can you focus on that off season to change things up for next year?
It starts with all the workouts that we do, making sure every kid understands you have to finish everything you do. Finish it. I mean, it's got to be a mentality. Any of the weights that we do, the runnings that we do, finish it. Don't take a rep off, or don't. We're not going to slow down. I know you're tired. You got to push through. You got to persevere through that stuff, and you got to finish the workout. And I think it starts there. And then obviously we have our days that we can work with them. Here in the spring, and it's just a carryover. Whether you do certain drills, it's just finishing a drill. I think that a lot of kids, I don't care who they are, if they're not in practice finishing their drills, I mean, I can't expect them to be going into a game and finish a game. If they're only going a certain amount of half, whatever in practice, don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
But that I do believe that. Yeah, I mean that's something that I was taught all through the years of playing football, and the coaches that I was, the coaches I was able to be with, and I think it's true. I think it's it starts a mentality, and you gotta push through it. So.
Bill and I were there for senior night. Now you got a whole bunch of them. We don't have time constraint there. Talk about each one of them, but can you just talk about how many you had and how they meant to you as a group?
Yeah, I think we ended up having 15 of them, and when I first started, that group was our freshman group, and so having this group and watching them, and I told
You've
them.
been around that long. Huh?
Yeah, how about
Man.
that?
Wow.
Jeez, oh Pete, they kept me here that long, huh?
No, man.
But they, to watch, and I told them this after the game, to watch them grow every year it's just awesome to see. See where I remember where they were as freshmen and how they played, and I remember all of them. You see these little kids, and they're playing and they're doing their thing. You're trying to get better, and the next year, okay, half of them. I mean, they're just getting bigger. Their bodies are maturing, and you see them now they're playing varsity. Now they're going. All of them are playing varsity, and now in the senior year, you just see their drive, and I love that as a coach. That's just that's awesome to watch, and be able to see that from start to finish. This group has been a lot of fun. There's some big shoes to fill there, and I'll say this group, I will never judge. I'm never going to judge a group on wins and losses. I don't think that's fair. I know everybody does that. How good were they? What did they win? I get it. But I'll say this group worked so hard. I mean, and what they worked through this senior group as they went through the whole COVID crap, and you can't work out here, you can't work out there, and this is our biggest group coming through, and they just had, and then they get their senior year, and you think it's done, and it's not done. They've had a lot thrown at them, and for them to overcome that and continue to play, at a level that our expectations. Again, we're not always winning, but I tell you, they put the effort in, and and a couple of ones that I feel really bad for, the ones that get hurt and they can't play. I mean, Dylan Bolton, kid, he's a 3-year starter for us, and he gets hurt in the Wheeler game. He ended up blowing his ACL, and I hope he wants to continue on to play college football, because he could. He's that, he has that mindset. But somebody like him that's been playing forever, and he couldn't finish out his year. J.J. Miller's another one, the receiver for us. A kid that didn't, if you'd asked me as a freshman, would he have been playing in varsity Friday? I said no, probably not. But that's the whole thing. These kids continue to work, and their mindset changes, and then they blossom into a starter, and they surprise you. And he did a whole complete 180 with how he looked at things and his attitude, and he was a big deal for us. And then unfortunately, he collarbone. So there was just a couple of them there, that the ones that didn't get to play, but the majority of them, just a great group to have around. They have been a really good.
Most of them close friends. Good group.
They are.
Together.
Yeah, they are. It's kind of fun to watch them. They are. They're always there whenever we're one of the coaches. We get on to them, because I don't care if you're a freshman to a senior. I'm going to get on you. I'm going to, the way I say it might be a little different, but they always are there to help each other and pick each other up, and I think that's great. That's great. That's a great thing for a team, and it's a great attribute to have for these kids. They lift each other up. Because it's hard enough as it is. I always tell them it's hard enough. Football's hard.
Yes, it is.
It's a hard sport. It's an emotional sport.
James, when our last time, we always give the coach a little time here at the end to say some thank yous or whatever you'd like to say to people.
No, you know what? It's been given the year. Again, coming off of hoping you get to play every week, and I do. I think our athletic department. They kept us going. John and the staff kept us going. Our trainer this year, Vanessa, we kept her busy, and she did her best to keep everybody healthy. Our sponsors, to help us keep the facilities that we have, we're pretty blessed.
Top notch, yeah.
Absolutely, we're blessed with our facilities, and all of our sponsors out there. Larry Fugit helped get the inflatable, if it's the 134 Union. They supported that, getting our the helmet and the tunnel, which is something the kids absolutely loved. But biggest too, the parents. I'm going to tell you real quick. Everybody obviously talks about parents, and how parents can make or break your season, depending on what they say and how they act and what they put on social media. But I will say this group of parents we've had is unbelievable. I get it. No one's ever there. Never going to agree with everything you do on the football field. You're always going to have, well, you should be running the ball here. You should be doing this. That's whatever. That's part of it. But they are the most supportive parents I've been around. And I hope every one of them are listening, because I love them all, because I think it's so much fun to be able to go out and coach their kids, knowing where they come from. It just makes a big difference. And it's just awesome. We've had our team mom, Angie Buck. My goodness, that lady, she does everything for this team, feeding them, getting that together, getting all this fun stuff together for them every Friday. So yeah, and my coaching staff, they work hard. They work hard of trying to get our kids in the position to be successful. There's a lot of film, and every one of the coaches, I know they could probably say the same about their staff, but mine does, and they do a great job. They all got kids, all got young kids running around playing sports, but they're still holding steady and holding strong to their position, and making sure our team is well prepared. And you talk about the wives, our wives, and my wife and my family. How many times we sit here and talk about, my daughter, the things that she accomplished, and I was able to go be a part of that. But she is the same way how she feels about this football program and myself, and the support that they give me is just unmatched. They and my son, obviously, Zach. He's a manager for the 8th grade team.
There you go.
Yeah, he's all fired up for it. So yeah, there's a lot of support there. But yeah, there's a ton more thank yous for everybody. But I'm sure I'm missing a ton. But I mean, I obviously can't thank enough for the seniors and the players. They make it happen.
Well, James, we really appreciate you come down each week. We love doing KV football games when possible, and you always are great with us, and we thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me all the time, and thank you guys for all you do. I mean, the coverage and everything you guys, what you guys stand for, and the care you guys give all of us. I mean, it's unmatched, and I appreciate everything you guys do.
James Broyles from the Kankakee Valley Cougars, back to turn our attention to.
Oh, I want to
Okay, go ahead
sneak
first.
in there and get a quick read if I can, Bobby. Just a mention here about Wagon Wheel Grill. And it happens to be right across the street here from where we're at. And if you're looking for some really great food before the big game, anytime stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue here in Rensselaer. From their famous Wagon Master sandwich to their great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is the place to satisfy your hunger needs. Stop in or call the Wagon Wheel Grill at 219-866-9942 for your dine-in or carry-out needs. A delicious meal and satisfaction is what you'll have waiting for you at the Wagon Wheel Grill.
Back with a look at high school basketball, girls style, right after this on 3KG The Cage.
For over 60 years, Hamster Group has helped build America. In 1958, a small Northwest Indiana builder began constructing homes. Through the years, by following the motto, quality and integrity you can depend on, Hamster Group has grown. Today, Hamster Group's associated around the country with homes, schools, shopping malls, churches, medical buildings, and more. So for your next project, large or small, and quality and integrity you can depend on, call 219-956-3111 and speak with the experts at Hamster Group.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza, and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's. You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
Really like to thank Arnie's for providing the food and drink for the coaches here as we transition into the girls' basketball season. None better to lead off than Brian Heimlich, the coach at North White. Brian, good to see you again. How was your off season?
Good. Yeah, it's good to be back doing this again. We had a great. I thought we had a great summer this year. Able to do some things, and we have a lot of girls that returned that have played a lot of minutes for us. So we
Let's go back to last year. What did you finish? How many people did you lose?
So we finished 20-5 last year. Lost.
That's not bad.
Yeah, lost to Pioneer in the sectional final, who ended up going all the way last year and winning state. So it was a very good season for us. I mean, nothing to complain about. We lost 3 seniors: Olivia Allen, Kinsey Westerhouse, and Ashley Williams. And a couple of those had played a lot of minutes for us even since they were freshmen. So they, some girls that we were losing, but we also, we returned quite a bit of girls that have played a lot of minutes as well. So, last year was, it was a good season. It was definitely a different season, though. I mean, you just
didn't know if you were playing from day to day, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was the big thing last year. Is you just, day to day. Yeah, it was sometimes hour to hour. It was just kind of what was going to happen.
Is it better
next.
this year or not?
So far, it has been. I think we've been. Luckily so far we haven't had any issues. We're just a couple weeks in, but last year, there's parts of the season, there towards the end. I know we lost. We had a good stretch of games where we had played really well, and then we lost 3 starters for a 10-day stretch just because being quarantined. Nothing had happened, but they were quarantined, and I think it kind of hindered us. Then the last 2 weeks going into sectional, you lose some of that momentum you had, and hopefully this year we'll be different with that. So we'll see.
How have the preseason practices? You said you suffered a major injury already, huh?
Yeah. So going into the season, we had 6 girls that had played a lot of minutes for us last year, and 4 of those being seniors. So 2 weeks to go in the volleyball season. My daughter Lindsay, had a kind of a freak accident in a volleyball match, and unfortunately she tore her ACL. So she's out with surgery coming up in a couple of weeks. But we do have a couple, I said, or seniors that have played a lot of minutes for us. And have been great leaders here these first few practices. Hannah Cosgray, Kate Kahn, and Lauren Annis have played, throughout their careers, have played a lot of minutes for us and played a lot last year for us. So been very pleased with their effort and leadership during practice here the first couple weeks. And then a couple juniors as well, Abigail Spry and Tessa Robertson, have played since they're freshmen too. And, had numerous starts between both of those as well. So, I mean, we've got 5 girls that coming back that have played a lot of minutes for us. So, we do have that. Now it's just developing some of that depth. We lost Lindsay, who, really could have played, position 1 through 5. Your subbing patterns are, it makes it easy when you got somebody that you can sub in and out at any position. And so now it's, going into the season, we've had to adjust a little bit what we thought we were going to do, and during the summer and leading up to the season. And so now it's just developing some of those other girls. We've got 2 other seniors that, played a little bit last year, mainly at the JV level, got in some minutes at the varsity level, but Riley Carter and Cammie Scott. One being a post and then the other guard. Cammie can really shoot the ball, and then we're just trying to get her on the defensive side to really get her moving a little quicker and reacting to things. Callie Hunt is a junior that played some minutes for us last year at the varsity level. I think she got a lot of her minutes, during some of those stretches where maybe we had some girls out, but she's been. She's done a really, really nice job for us so far in practice. And then, we've got another junior, Katie Stevens, who hopefully can get some minutes in there too. And then, then our younger kids right now, it's just kind of developing. A lot of them they just don't have a lot of experience. So we're just trying to get them out there. And it's a big difference from 8th grade. And then when you've got, like I said, 5 girls that have played a lot of varsity basketball and just a lot of basketball in general, the speed of the game is just so much different for them. And some of these girls are just realizing that. And, it's going to take some time, but I think hopefully, as we go throughout the season and they learn, and these other girls, they're seeing how hard some of these other girls work, that they'll come along nicely.
Brian, how are your numbers overall? Will these young girls dress varsity also, or is that mostly your JV team?
We will. It'll primarily they'll be playing minutes on the JV. There might be a couple that will see some time, at the varsity level, just to get them in there, and we got to get them used to it. I like if they're not ready for it. I'd rather them get their minutes at the JV level and just play there. I don't want to bring somebody up and sit them on the bench. Especially that freshman and sophomore year, so instrumental in them just getting minutes, getting out there playing, and it's not fair to them to come up and just sit there on the bench. So we try to get them as many minutes as possible at the JV level, and if we're short and we need some quarters possibly, I mean, there's going to be some times where they're going to have to, they may not get in the game, but we need that in case you get foul trouble here or there, or you're an injury here or there away from being another girl short. You need those girls up there, but I prefer them playing some of those JV minutes.
I hate to early on. I mean, it's your first time you're sitting in with us this season, but ask you these philosophical questions. But what are we going to do about sports and at this part of the state anyways? It sounds like you guys are really, you're lucky, you're in great position compared to a lot of schools. Here I was thinking it was just football. Some of these Class A schools that are struggling to put a unit out there.
Look, West Central does not have a JV team this year, nor does South Newton. So
in girls basketball.
In girls basketball.
Yeah, that's what some of these coaches were talking about. Some other schools around. I think Coach Ratke said he'd heard a couple others too. I think
it
Twin
Lakes
like
it's
and
becoming
somebody
more
else
and
he had
more
said
than
but hadn't.
Yeah, does that concern you at all?
I mean, it does. I mean, as coaches over here, we're discussing it, and it's very concerning. You can't get some of the younger kids that come out, or and some of it's just some of them feel like they need to specialize, and so many times that's not in the best interest. I think
you see a successful volleyball program that'll kind of push their girls into playing club sports.
Yeah, and I think it's better. I always pushed, even at when I was at West Central, I wanted my kids playing football, running cross country in the fall. I didn't want them not doing anything. I think it's a lot better for them overall not that they're just seeing one coach. They're seeing multiple coaches and leadership roles and things, and then
that's the way we grew up.
And then just
all sports.
Yeah, that's what you did.
Yeah, and and that's how we've kind of approached it down there too. Work as coaches, we work with each other. As with Coach McIntyre the last few years, and before that was Clay's. But we tried to get as far as volleyball goes, just working together and sharing those athletes, and then with the softball program as well, and track, and just trying to get them involved as many things as possible. I think it's just better for the kids in general. But it is concerning. It's not, it's not just around here. I mean, it's all over the state. I think I think one of the coaches. I mean, Northwestern's another one. I mean, 4A school, I think. And
did you say Twin Lakes doesn't have a JV team this year?
That's what Coach Ratke was saying.
That's a big school.
Yeah, but Northwestern is too, and they've got just a varsity only.
Do you guys as teachers and administrators address this, at all? Are you looking at it?
Yeah, I mean, as coaches, we do. As athletic, as an athletic department, we just had a meeting tonight. We were talking about that. It's just, it's trying to get those kids and embrace them when they're younger, and just, I don't know what the issue is. I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on, outside of the school that kind of contribute that as well. But, it's just as coaches, and we just got to try to get out there and try to get some of those kids in and see what it's all about, and, continue to make it fun at those younger levels. Sometimes I feel like, too, that's kind of hurt, some of these things we push them into where they're going down and, at third, fourth, and fifth grade, maybe going and playing in these leagues where they're playing competitive basketball, keeping the score and all that, and I don't think you have to do that at that level all the time. At that level, I think it just needs to be fundamentals. and just having fun. I mean, let them have fun at that age and learn, learn the game, learn to have fun. As they get older, you start getting into that junior high. That's, then you start, now you're teaching them, what it is to a little bit more at the competitive level. And then obviously at the high school level, you want them to be, that's where you want to be competing. But to keep them, I think at the younger age, we just need to be, probably go back to that where it's fun. Not so much win or lose. That shouldn't be the issue.
Right.
And sometimes I think we go to those things and it's not just, the coaches, the parents. It's all about, we're looking at the scoreboard. That's sure. And it doesn't need to be that way. So I think that's been a kind of a big issue too.
We're talking with Brian Heimlich, North White girls basketball coach. Brian, I think of North White girls, I think a real top-notch defense, get after it, and an efficient offense. What's your philosophy?
Yeah, it is. Defense is what we talk about first, especially in the half court. We want to, obviously limit their possessions, but, just play. We're not I wouldn't call us an aggressive defense, like some teams play. We're more, we want to be solid, play good, be in solid position. Shots go up. We want to get, limit to one shot and go. And then, we want to push the basketball, but then, in the half court, we are going to try to, be patient and get the best look we can. We've kind of emphasized right now trying to get out and push the basketball. But, I think right now we are this year looking at it. Like I said, we've kind of changed probably a little bit of our philosophy. The beginning, going into the season, what I thought we might be able to do. We've had to change a little bit of that. We don't have as much depth as I thought we would. So I think we'll be playing a little more half court. We'll match up zone, man. We'll play some different zones. But the big thing is, we just want to be fundamentally solid and challenge shots and be in good position. Make it tough for the other team and, really make them make mistakes. I don't want our goal a lot of times is just, make them make the mistakes.
What's tough is playing in that North White gym. That thing's the loudest gym ever. That's got to be a good home court advantage for you.
It is. Last year it was kind of down just because it is a loud gym, and I never really noticed it as much. But we get the band in there. We have a very great band director right now that loves to come have their kids come and play. And you get the crowds in there and the student section, and we've had good crowds. We have good followings on the road even. But last year it was just you go in any gym and it was quiet,
absolutely.
But then let alone our gym, and we do get the band in there. It gets even louder, and it just seems it's just an older gym.
We have to scream just to hear ourselves.
A lot of things echo and stuff, but. Yeah, so it'll be nice this year to get to have a lot of the fans back too.
I'm sorry.
Midwest Conference, talk about that.
Yeah, this year there's going to be some teams that got some younger kids coming up that'll I think help some teams as well. We've got Tri-County. I know has some younger kids that are playing. I saw some of them play some volleyball and some athletic kids that'll help them. I think over there. South Newton, I think they've got, I know you said they didn't have a JV team,
right.
But they're going to be right there. North Newton has got some kids, I think they've got some older kids that have played some, got some size for one, and always tough to play them. West Central, I know their numbers aren't great.
But 7, yeah.
But Tyson Coach for me, he's a hard-nosed guy, likes to get them. They'll play hard.
That foot a little bit.
They'll
there,
play hard. And then Frontier down there. I know that coach as well, and they're going to play hard. They've got some kids that'll come in and give you fits as well. You've got a couple shooters that played a lot of minutes for them. So the conference is going to be competitive this year. That's one of our goals every year is to win the conference, and even the next couple years or next year we're going to be adding a couple teams to that conference.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so Faith Christian and Covenant Christian are going to be added, next year to the Midwest Conference to give us a little more, bigger,
balance,
and it'll
sure.
be, it's
Won't
going to
be in football, but the rest of the sports, right?
Both of those schools are non-football schools, but I think it'll help the conference
So I'm
overall.
bringing it up to 8 then, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
just to get some more, competition in there as far as more teams and those teams, both those schools have had some. The Faith Christian had been down, but they are really starting to come up as far as their girls program. I know we've still been playing them in junior high ball, and they've got some girls that coming up that are going to be really solid. And Covenant Christian last year had some younger girls that were pretty solid as well.
So will your schedule change then? Will you have to add those, or do you play them already?
we already play Covenant Christian, and right now we are in the process. We are short a game, and so we're in the process trying to add Faith in there if we can. And so we're looking at that just because obviously next year we're going to have to add them anyway. So we're looking to see if we can fit them in somewhere this year. So
That's Covenant of DeMont?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, and we've had them on our schedule for ever since I've been here. So yeah, it'll be a nice addition for all of our teams, I believe.
Brian, how's the height? Do you have height on, you said
Yeah, we've got a couple posts that, like I said, Tessa Robertson and Kate Kahn, probably our two post players right now, and then the Callie Hunt off the bench and Riley Carter. Riley's kind of she's a little not a true post as far as size-wise, but right now I've really been impressed with Kate. She has really just worked as hard as anybody I've coached here at the first start of the season. And she's had a rough go of it. Sort of freshman year, she had a really nice, she played really well in the JV, and then actually had to come in and play some in the sectional because we had an injury. And but then obviously her sophomore year, she had the leukemia, and so it was, that year she missed. And then last year, it was coming into volleyball. She played volleyball, but I just don't think she ever got into, the shape she was in before. And she still had some issues she was dealing with at the start of basketball last year, and just kind of fought through that all year. But this year, just watching her in the summer, watching her in volleyball, and now watching her the first couple weeks of basketball, she's probably in the best shape and that she's been in her whole career, and it has really been. So I'm anxious to see what she can do in some games and stuff, because she's been dominating her practices in the post. She's not a real tall post, but she is so athletic, and she's going to outrun any post down the floor. And so the big thing with her is just going to keep her. We got to keep her on the floor and not let her get in foul trouble and those types of things.
So it sounds like your expectations are pretty high this year.
Yeah, I'm looking good things from a lot of them. I mean, we've got 5 girls that have played a ton of minutes. So I expect my expectations for them are very high. They played a lot of basketball. They've put in a lot of time themselves, since they were young, and I just want the best for them, for their senior. Three of them that I've been talking about, and then I've got 2 other. I said Riley and Cammie that are coming up. I want their senior year to be a good senior year, and so hopefully, it will be. That's what we're.
What do
looking
you
at.
think about the mercy rule, where you get up to 35 points and then a running clock?
Well, I mean, I think
Is that a good thing?
it's a good thing. I
Uh-huh.
think
You think it'll come into play much?
I don't know how much it'll come into play. I've been one. We get up if we've been up in a game. I like to get my other girls in a game anyway. I mean, that's I've been on both ends of it. So I mean, it's I just think it's when you get to that point, it's a great time to get other girls in and get them that experience. And so I really don't know how much it'll come into play. 35 is a lot of points.
Yeah.
It's a lot of points. So we'll see. But I do think if it is at that point, it's a good thing. I mean, I've seen it in football, and I think it's been good there. Sometimes it gets to that point. You don't want injuries to happen, so you can kind of shorten that game so that you don't have something that happens that probably shouldn't.
Right.
So I think in the long run, it probably will be a good thing.
When's your season opener? And tell us who you play and about your game.
Yeah, so we start Saturday. We open up with North Miami, which we've done the last 3 or 4 years. They've been pretty good. Last year they were probably a little more on the downside than they had been. And they're going to have 2 games under their belt before they come Saturday to our place. They played last night, played Western and got beat, and then they're going to play South Newton Friday night, and then come to our place on Saturday.
So you have a chance to scout.
Yeah.
Do coaches do that anymore? They don't anymore, right? Do you or don't you?
A lot of times anymore with it's the huddle way it is.
There you go, it's probably better that way, right?
It's a lot easier just to
look at the tape, huh?
With a phone, you could even just say, "Hey, can you send me this film or whatever?"
Man, you guys got it easy now.
It's a lot easier than it was about 15 years ago. I
bet.
can tell you
Wow.
that. Or you had to go and meet somebody somewhere,
exchange tapes and all that stuff.
Trade the VHS tapes and such, and things like that. But yes, we're looking forward. It's a home. We start with our first 2 games at home, so we got them, and so we're looking forward to that, and hope everybody can come out and cheer the Lady Vikings on. And the following weekend we have Friday night we have Caston coming in, so we got some good games to open up with and see how it goes.
Well, Brian, we sure appreciate coming in each week and look forward to talking with you throughout each Wednesday and having some games on our air here, and look forward to the season.
Okay, appreciate everything you guys do and promoting everything, and appreciate Arnie's too putting us on. But it's just good to be back here.
It is, isn't it? All right.
Yes.
Brian Heimlich
Yep.
from the North White Lady Vikings, back with more The Coach's Cage on 3kgthecage.com right after this.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. For over 60 years, Hamster Group has helped build America. In 1958, a small Northwest Indiana builder began constructing homes. Through the years, by following the motto, quality and integrity you can depend on, Hamster Group has grown. Today, Hamster Group's associated around the country with homes, schools, shopping malls, churches, medical buildings, and more. So for your next project, large or small, and quality and integrity you can depend on, call 219-956-3111 and speak with the experts at Hamster Group.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
All right, here we go. Buckle your seats belts now. It's Wes
Man,
Radke.
I've missed you.
I know you have.
It's been a long time.
I know
Can
it.
I tell you guys this?
Go right ahead.
Time off has done you well.
Oh,
Time off has done
man,
you
he's
well.
starting off with a compliment, Bill. I don't know.
Better not.
Man,
I don't know. There's something coming here. I don't know.
I'm just tickled pink to be sitting with you right now.
Absolutely. Last year was.
I don't have a face mask on.
No, you don't.
Your face still looks the same. You still look the same. We're all good.
Yeah, that's right. We're all here. So
My wife still likes my face.
Yeah,
so-
well, that's the
boy.
most important thing.
There we go.
So, Wes Radke, Rensselaer Central girls coach, and I really appreciate you. We kid each other all the time, but thanks for coming in each week and throughout the season, and love doing your games. And first, talk about this year, since we weren't around last year. Tell us about last year. How many people? What'd you finish, and how many people did you lose?
Well, the good news is I didn't lose anybody.
Didn't have any seniors last year?
No seniors
My
last year.
goodness.
We didn't lose anybody. We, had a great year as far as, I guess, wins and losses, maybe not 11 wins. And I forget how many losses. I like to forget those, 10 losses or something like that. But the silver lining in all that is we got to the sectional championship game. And we had to face a lot of different things, like every other coach did with COVID, with this or that, just trying to figure the things out. And without any senior leadership for that, I had put a lot of that on the juniors to begin to lead this in those situations. And it was a learning curve for them as well, in the locker room, on the floor, in practice. Just trying to find our niche and find what we were doing. And our schedule at times was brutal for us, especially when COVID hit. I mean, there's times I can remember playing at BC and, we only had maybe 2 or 3 actual varsity players, and everybody else was JV or freshmen playing against a BC team that, showed no mercy at that game either for us. So, it was rough at times. We were down the valley. There's definitely times down the valley. There's times we're in a mountaintop. We play an Andrean team that was really good, and it was one of those games where we picked them up because we were missing a game. And so, that was a good game for us, but it also allowed us to see where we need to go and grow at. But built us all towards getting to that sectional championship game. And, I kept telling the girls the entire time, just give ourselves a chance to get there, and we did. It didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. Obviously, we lost to North Judson in that championship game. But I saw something in the girls that I hadn't seen in a while. I saw some maturity. I saw some girls begin to get emotional with the fact that, first of all, it was over, but second of all, that we had lost that championship game. So going into this year, it helped really build and fuel what we're trying to get accomplished this year.
Did you get your summertime in? I know summertime is big for you. Did you get all that in this
Yes,
time?
we did. We actually had a great time, had a great summer, especially when we went up. We took the team up to Wisconsin Dells. We took them up there, and they played some games up there, had some success up there, did some nice things, some team bonding and building.
You go to Wisconsin Dells and you play basketball?
Well, yeah. Where else? What else would you do when you go to places? That's the only places. That's the only reason why I
He's
go.
been there before. I know.
I'm not you don't want to see this down no slip and slide. So I stayed away from the water.
The Tommy Bartlett show.
Well, that was pretty good.
You got to see that.
But we took the girls up there to try to give them some different kind of experience than what we've done in the past, and they really enjoyed it. They really had a good time. And we had some.
Is that a big?
Typically it is, because when I coached boys at North Judson, we did the same thing. We took them up there to Wisconsin Dells, and it's been something I've been wanting to do for a while, and finally had the opportunity to do that. And, of course, COVID played a big part in that, so some teams weren't up there that normally would be. I mean, normally it's packed full. You played teams from all over. And, unfortunately, this year it didn't happen. We played some teams that were from out of state. Some team, I think the one team that we lost to in the championship game by 3 was from Iowa. So we got to play them, and they were a really good team, really, really good guards. And then we played some Indiana teams that were there as well. But it was good because it was JV varsity, so everybody had a chance to play. And then we had time to get away from basketball a little bit and grow as a family some more. I had the opportunity to take the girls to a Ponderosa that some of them had never been to before. So they went and ate at Ponderosa, and that was, good for me. And they were all looking around like, is this real? And so, yeah, it was a good time for us. And then we came back and we played, our Lafayette area shootout down there at Legacy. And then we played at Harrison, played against Harrison, played against Kokomo. So we had some good experience there for us. So our summer was definitely packed and had a good time with it.
How many girls you got out? And tell us about the preseason here so far.
So this year we have 17 girls.
For JV and varsity.
JV and varsity combined, 17 girls have decided to come out and play for us. And
good number, bad number?
For me, I'm always looking for more.
Of course.
I'm that type of guy. I always want a little bit more if I can get more. But, the 17 that we have there put the time and effort in. They're putting the work in, and I love being around them. I love being in the gym with them. Their willingness to learn still, and 6 of them are seniors, and they're still hunger to learn. They still want to get better. They still want to achieve more. And now I have that senior leadership in the gym, and it's nice to see them leading these younger kids in the direction that we need to do things and keeping them on focus and on task of what we're trying to get accomplished.
That's a good number, isn't it, for your recent past years?
It's
6 seniors?
We've fluctuated between 4 and 6 seniors, and out of these 6 seniors, 5 of them started for me last year.
Wow.
You're
Gotta
talking,
be a good number then.
You're talking 2 of them, and Morgan Van Meter and Jessie Fleming, who played 4 years of varsity experience for me. Then you got Avery Cain and Abby Ayler, and they've played 3 years of varsity for me, along with Kenzie Moore, who's played a number of minutes for me back and forth.
Well, I recognize all those names.
And you don't remember very well either.
Right,
so.
that's right.
You guys weren't there last year for some reason. I don't know. Something happened there. But, there's a lot of experience coming back, a lot of athleticism.
We're going to hold you to it then.
And believe me, there's been a lot of my feet are put to the fire, and this is 6th year. And
Is it really?
Yeah.
You've not been here 6 years.
6 years.
Just seems like yesterday. You
shouldn't lie like that. We're live.
Yes, we are. I'm sorry.
Shouldn't lie like that.
So expectations?
There's a lot of expectations. We got a chance to be in the IU shootout now. Used to be the JC Online tournament.
Yeah, I thought that was for Lafayette schools.
Franciscan
how'd
tournament.
That turn out?
They invited us. They asked us if we would come down there, and we jumped at the opportunity to be able to throw in there with that.
So you had to change your schedule around, obviously, then, right?
Yeah, we no longer have a holiday shootout in December like we did at Greencastle when we went down there for 2 years, which was good. But Doug Greenlee said, "Hey, we're probably not going to do this." So we were kind of looking around, and then this kind of fell in our lap, and they asked us, and we jumped right on board. So that will replace our holiday tournament. So we're really looking forward to that opportunity to play in that tournament.
That's a prestigious one.
18 or 4?
18.
18.
So you played 3 games automatically,
yes.
right?
Yeah, we play Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. JV varsity. JV will play just 2 games. They won't play that 3rd game. But, we're going to start off with Harrison at Harrison. Then we play the winner of the other ones. And some of those teams, Twin Lakes, Lafayette Central Catholic, and West Lafayette, are already in our conference, already on our schedule. So it gives us a chance to be even more tested and tried. And I told the girls, I said it's a great opportunity for us to get tested,
cool. Yeah.
to build our schedule, to build our confidence, to get us ready. Because when you look at that tournament in itself versus our sectional, I mean, holy cow. That should get us ready, and with the amount of competition that's in there, it's going to be, you got to show up every night. You can't take a break. And our sectional is built the same way, where you got to win 3 games to win it all. And, it's built in that same way where you have to show up every night or you go home. So we're excited about that opportunity. We always have the expectation of winning conference. We always have the expectation of being at the top of the conference and winning it, and we haven't done that yet. Our highest that we've accomplished so far is 3rd, and that was a few years ago. So we're always looking to move up in that and take over conference. And then obviously the greatest expectation is to finish that unfinished business that I talk to the girls about all the time that we didn't finish last year with this group of kids. And, that expectation is something that I'm not going to let up on and not going to just let go to the wayside. We have to take control of that, and we have to control our own destiny.
Talk a little bit more about your key players.
So the one that, that comes to mind right away is, Jessie Rand. She's played for me for 4 years now. She's close to breaking 1,000 points. She just does everything for us. She can handle the ball. She rebounds. She shoots. So having her come back, averaging 16, 17, 18 points, whatever it was last year, coming back after last year does phenomenal things for us. So we're looking for another great, consistent year out of her. And I've even challenged her to take it to even another level than what she has been doing for us. So, looking for great things out of her. The next one, Morgan Van Meter. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Morgan Van Meter is another one that, as the year progressed last year, she really began to be that outside threat for us, be able to hit that outside shot like her sister the years before had done for us. And Morgan is greatly improved. Watching her shoot in practice, I get excited because the kid can knock down shots. She does a great job defensively, talking and seeing things. She has a great knowledge of the game of basketball. But I've seen a lot of maturity out of her, and I'm excited for what she's going to do for us this year as well. Then you get, Avery Cain back, our point guard now, who helps run the show for me, and her athleticism and her determination and how she's able to keep the game up tempo for us. I told her this the other day, or I actually told her this today, that out of all the kids so far, the one that I've seen the most improvement on or the most determination is that kid. She's just something different about her this year, gentlemen, that I haven't seen in her in the past, where she has her mind set on it. She's focused. She's listening to what I'm asking her to do. And it's been really nice. It's been awesome to see that. And when your point guard's tuned in, that usually looks pretty good for you. So I'm excited for what she's going to do for us. Next one, Abby Ayler, having her back healthy and doing some great things for us, and her size and her athleticism that she's able to do for us, and what she's going to bring to our team, both defensively and, again, offensively. Defensively, she sees the floor well. She communicates well with the girls. So I'm excited to have that opportunity again with her again this year. And then, Kenzie Moore, she's shooting the ball really well right now. And that's going to be another added plus force, because what Jessie does, what Morgan does, what we can get out of Abby Ayler and Avery, and then when Moore shooting the ball and knocking down threes, that really adds another dimension to our game. So those are the five, seniors that are coming back as far as contributors to what we have going on. And then you go, look at a kid like Sarah Kaufman, who's a sophomore, who's one of the most athletic kids I've ever had, and she can do it all. She can handle the ball, she can shoot, she can play defense, she's very aggressive, she can jump, she can rebound. So I'm looking for a lot of great things out of her this year, taking it to another level. She can start for me. She can come off the bench. The kid is just a freak of nature when it comes to athleticism, and her ability to play the game at a high level is great to have again back this year. Another freshman, and she's a freshman, is Taylor Van Meter, Morgan's younger sister. Taylor, coming in as a freshman, has the size, the length, the skill, the athleticism. She can shoot the ball. She can pass the ball. She can dribble the ball. She has a great knack for things on defense. She just does a really good job. And as a freshman, I'm just excited that she's playing for me and playing with us and not playing against us, because she's a game changer when it comes to things. So she does a really good job for us, and looking for a lot of great things out of her. And then you look at Alola Chamness, who's a junior that comes off the bench for me, has some height. That kid, man, she was knocking down shots today in practice. She's very has a very good shot. She's very consistent in that. So we're looking for her to step up in big roles this year and knock down some shots in certain situations in the game and doing those things for us. Then you have Cadence Mans, another sophomore who can shoot the basketball, can dribble the basketball, a guard. She's got some speed to her, and looking for her to do a lot of great things as well. Then I have my daughter, Bailey, who's a sophomore, spot-up shooter. When she's set and ready to go, it's money. And so we just got to get more confidence out of her. Macy Kellner, another junior who's played some JV for us last year and dressed some varsity and a really good teammate. Has improved tremendously with her shot over the summer with me and the off season. Really worked at it, so she's going to get some opportunities and some chances there, and so we're looking for some good things out of her. Then I have, the rest of these girls as far as the freshmen go. Jessie Fleming, Carly Drone, looking at my name, Brooke Kage, those three in particular. This might be one of my most athletic freshman classes I've had in a very long time. All three, those three girls, they're going to have the opportunity to dress for me during varsity games. They're going to play a lot of JV, but they're going to get the opportunity to get in that rotation. So we have a lot of different moving parts that I'm very pleased with and excited for this year. And there's I have a few other players that are going to be nice role players for us. Addie Hensler, Liberty Bate, Robin Philpott. They're going to do some nice things for us. And looking forward to a great year.
Going to be the usual Coach Radke defense. Pick them up in the backcourt. Full court.
Yeah, with this team and the ability we have and the kids that I have, we're going to be able to move people around a whole lot more and to give different looks and be able to stay in it longer because of their athleticism, because they're in shape. And hopefully the Coach Radke defense that I've tried to bring to these girls for 6 years is going to start paying off, because I don't like people to score. And we've been giving up a lot of points at times, and that's not what we typically do, and that's not what I'm known for. So we've talked about that to try to fix that situation.
We missed last year, but look at these assistant coaches. They might have the most assistant coaches in the state of Indiana.
Why you got to start that?
No, because look, you got Amanda Mans has been there forever. Eric Van Meter's been there forever. Listen to these. You might know some of these girls. Brooklyn Radke, assistant coach.
Heard of her.
Bianca Radke, assistant coach.
Heard of her.
Sydney Van Meter, assistant coach.
Heard of her.
So the reason for that is
you're gonna need 2 rows for your coaches.
But these old guys can't get up and down the floor anymore. So I got to get some young people that are able to do that, so then I can spend more time getting on to the girls and not being winded. Because when you're winded, you can't yell as loud.
That's never been a problem with you.
Well, I'm getting a little older. So
you just got to have a couple of them settle you down. I know that's the – that's an all-star lineup right there.
The girls – and that's what I love about it. They want to be part of what we're doing.
They can scrimmage.
Yeah, and the thing if you look, Sydney's also helping with the 6th grade with Ashley Webb. Bianca's also helping with the 7th grade with Avery Cain. So they're willing to do whatever it takes that I ask them to do to help with the program. And I know I know how it goes. Well, they're just your daughters, and this is it. That's not it. These girls, they want to see everybody succeed. They have the love for the program, a love for these young girls, and they want to see them be successful.
Sure.
Sydney's coming off of finished playing in college, and she was wanting to get into coaching, and why not use that to your advantage? And Brooklyn and Bianca, they all know. They've been in my system. They know exactly what I expect. And the 3 of them are a great asset to us. I'm excited for them to be with us and looking forward to what they bring to us in the locker room to help with the girls and different things. And
that's got to make you feel good, too.
It does. It does make me feel good that they want to be back a part of it and that they want to be where I'm at, because sometimes you get around people for so long and they don't want to be around you too much. Like you guys kind of ditched me there for a while.
Yeah, I had to take a year off. So
yeah, so you had enough of me after so much. But it is. It's a great compliment to what we're doing in the program. And what's nice about, like I said, is they're willing to help even in the lower levels. And they don't get paid. They're not getting paid to do that. They're doing it because they want to be part of what we're doing. Those are volunteer assistants that, are willing, and young girls, young women now, they're not girls anymore, they're women that aren't going here or there. They're in the gym with other girls trying to make them better. Sydney Van Meter last Saturday night is down at Legacy coaching the 6th grade girls at Legacy. Brooklyn and Bianca are at practice with me. Sydney's coming in and out of practice. So they're doing what I asked them to do, and it's nice to see that.
We're talking with Wes Radke, Rensselaer Central girls coach. Wes, what are your thoughts on the Hoosier Conference?
It's going to be another battle for us. Everybody's refueled. Everybody's restocked. BC's still going to be tough as always. They got a lot of people back, a lot of key players back. Lafayette Central Catholic's reloaded again with another freshman class that's coming in there. West Lafayette, she's going to do what she does for many years, and they're going to be good. And Twin Lakes has got the coach's daughters there as well, doing some great things there. So it's going to be a battle for us. And then the other side, you still got Tipton, who had a lot of success last year. You got Hamilton Heights and Northwestern and Western, and so and Lewis Cass. Kyle's got things rolling there. So it's going to be a dogfight again. But again, with that IU tournament, with our conference schedule, it's just preparing us for hopefully a long run this year in the tournament.
When you open up? Tomorrow night
we open up at West Central. We travel over there at 5:30 tip-off time. There's no JV game, and so we're going to get our feet going here. And we did have a scrimmage with a new opponent this year in Clinton Central. We traveled down there, which was a long drive, and scrimmaged them. And so we'll be going to Trojan Country tomorrow, and looking forward to getting them back on the floor. And then Saturday we're back at North Judson, and hopefully get a chance to turn some things around there and come out of there with a win as well. So we're looking forward to some good things here.
Well, it's good to see you again. Always great to have you every Wednesday, and good luck. And we'll be doing a lot of Bomber games later on in the year, all right?
All right. Thanks, fellas, for everything you do, and I'm glad everybody's healthy and back, and we're able to play this game. And I appreciate you guys and everything you do, and know that I hope that everyone that's listening and watching in Bomber Nation comes out and supports these young ladies because they deserve it. And looking forward to some great things. Thanks, fellas.
Wes Radke, Rensselaer Central Lady Bombers, back and wrap things up with Brandon Bradley from Kankakee Valley right after this on 3kgthecage.com.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's Pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
For over 60 years, Hamster Group has helped build America. In 1958, a small Northwest Indiana builder began constructing homes. Through the years, by following the motto, quality and integrity you can depend on, Hamster Group has grown. Today, Hamster Group's associated around the country with homes, schools, shopping malls, churches, medical buildings, and more. So for your next project, large or small, and quality and integrity you can depend on, call 219-956-3111 and speak with the experts at Hamster Group.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamstra Group.
Bob Kurtz, Bill K. back on the Coach's Cage program on 3kgthecage.com. You can check out our website there or check us out on our Facebook page at 3KG, the Cage Community Broadcasting, and you get us. That's where we'll have our games on when we start. Our first game, Bill, is a week from tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, yes.
Rensselaer at Tri-County, and then we see this gentleman. One of our favorite things to do is welcome new coaches to our area and new coaches to our show. And Brandon Bradley is the new Kankakee Valley girls basketball coach, replacing Doug Nelson, who has moved on to coach and teach at Portage High School. So, Brandon, thanks for coming. We really do appreciate it, and welcome to the area. How you doing?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Doing well. Moved up here a couple of months ago. And
tell us a little bit about your history then.
I mean, it's pretty vast and unique, I would say. I started out coaching about 26 years ago. Coached boys travel teams for 15 years, and same time spent a couple years as 7th grade boys coach, 8th grade boys coach, JV head coach from Tipton to Carmel to Fort Wayne Carroll. Wanted to get into just being a head coach, was living in the Fort Wayne area. Was recommended to me to get in on the girls' side because they were hiring mostly teachers on the boys' side. So I was at South Adams for a year, then went over to Whitco and spent 6 years there. My last couple of years, we were ranked for the first time ever, and my last year we were number one for about half of the season, which was pretty fun.
What's that feel like, man? That's gotta be...
It's a different feeling because you got other people chasing you, but unfortunately we had Central Noble in our sectional. And they were, obviously in the state finals at one point with that group, but went down to Newcastle and then Madison Grant. And
you've been around then, haven't you?
Yeah.
How did you get the KB job? How did you get here?
I don't know. You'd have to ask those guys, but it was kind of a interesting story. I saw the email come across in mid-June through the IHSA email network, and emailed Mr. Gray, just my interest and everything. And a couple of weeks went by and didn't really hear anything. And I was actually in Louisville coaching a girls travel team. Walked out from a game and he called me and asked me if I'd like to interview. So because I was in Louisville, we ended up having to do a Zoom call for the interview. And thought it went pretty well. But again, you're kind of behind the 8 ball. Everybody else is interviewing in person and you're down in Louisville on a Zoom call.
Sure.
Another week went by, and I was up in Minneapolis coaching and got a call, and here I am. So, it was really a lot of things going on in a short period of time, and, very excited, though, to be here and have the talent to work with that we have.
When you have a new coach come in, how long does it take you? Are you still learning the players, you teaching your system to them? What's the process and the time frame for all that?
It varies depending on the individuals you're working with. But at the same time, you have to be patient as a head coach. They have to be patient too as players and kind of find that middle ground. I feel like with any season, new or returning coach, defense usually comes around first. It's the easiest thing to pick up. It's more heart and effort and those kind of things, can really mask any deficiencies you have. So I look at from a defensive standpoint, I hope we're, clicking by Thanksgiving. And then once we get to the new year, we're pretty much settled in. Offense is going to be slow. It's going to take us a little bit of time. We're doing a lot of different things strategically. And I think, if by Thanksgiving we've got a general sense of the offense, I'll feel really good about it. It probably will be January when we get more comfortable, and even into next year, I think, which is, it's tough to say, but it's the truth. It just, when you want to, play the way that we are, it's going to take time, because not only do you have to learn the system, but then you have to learn how to read and counter, the opponents. And right now we're just learning the system initially. So the next step is just repetition, being able to see those things on the floor as a player and not have to rely on coach stopping practice every 2 or 3 possessions to kind of point that stuff out. I think we have a really bright group. I think, we spent Monday and Tuesday in film for an hour each day just watching our scrimmage from Saturday, and I really feel like we saw a lot of light bulbs come on. A lot of, I call them aha moments, and you could see it, the last couple of days on the floor. Girls really changing, whether it's an angle of a screen or the timing of a cut or what have you. I really think the film is going to be very vital for this group going forward.
Who'd you scrimmage?
LaPorte. So they came down Saturday morning and, had a really nice, cordial scrimmage. And
were you able to inherit some of the previous staff that was up here, or did you have to form your own?
Well, my varsity assistant was on last year's staff. It was her first year, though, I believe, with Coach Nelson. I have 2 members from Coach Meyer's staff 2 coaches ago. And then our freshman coach is a former player from 2 years ago. And
who's that?
Carly DeCook.
Okay.
And then
the 6'2" girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember her.
Bree Prime is the varsity assistant. Dave Walster will coach the JV team, and then Mike Sampson is his assistant, or a high school assistant. And then Kelly Creamer is our other assistant, and she has been a fan for 15 years, and she played back in her day and decided that she didn't want to be a fan anymore.
Oh, wow. So, how great is that?
She was pretty fired up last night because she's helping Carly with the freshman group, and they beat Lake Central last night, and that was kind of a big
That's a good way
rival
to start.
for her. Yeah. She was real excited about
What's
that.
it been like for you to know your personnel and for them to know you? What's that been like?
You have good days, you have bad days. It's just I'm trying to learn temperaments right now. I'm trying to figure out, because everybody's
That's important,
different.
isn't it?
Well,
yeah.
You got to know how to talk to each player.
Right.
This girl you can be real hard on. This girl, is a little more sensitive to certain things. And you want to find that, that common ground where you guys can all work together, coexist, and you want to be fair, but fair doesn't always necessarily mean equal, and I think that's really hard for them to understand sometimes.
I like that quote. That's a good one.
But, they're good kids. They work hard. So that part hasn't been a problem. It's just, how is this kid going to react in this situation? Okay, now let's take the same kid, put her in a different situation. Okay, let's take a different kid and put them in those first 2 situations, and trying to figure out, for example, last week we had one girl we thought was in this role, and we had another girl we thought was in this role. And then at the scrimmage, they were the complete opposite. One was ready for the game but wasn't as good in practice, and vice versa. And so those are the things that, I'm trying to see for the first time. And it's really nice to have people that have been at least around the program, so I can bounce things off of them and ask them, is in your relationships with these people, with these kids, how have they reacted similarly in the past? And they're able to kind of fill me in. Well, that's just her, or that's different,
Right.
and getting that kind of feedback has been invaluable at this point.
What's the Brandon Bradley philosophy for offense and defense?
Defensively, I've been a big proponent of man-to-man for, about the last 5 seasons. My next to last year at Whitco, we played a lot of 1-3-1, but that was we had a ton of length, and we're very athletic. Might see a little bit of that this year, but not exclusively like I did that season. My last year there, we flipped a man and just straight up get into you, almost like a half-court press per se.
Didn't you play in the KV tournament?
No.
No? Okay. Who am I getting mixed up with? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But just real disciplined rotation. We're trying to do it without helping, or I'm sorry, not without helping, but without switching. We don't want to. We're going to get beat early this season on certain things because we don't switch. But by January, we hope that they've learned how to fight screens, how to battle, how to, not rely on help, and we want them to be able to defend the ball one-on-one. Let's just do your job, and if we don't, the less we have to help, the better we're going to be. And the one thing coming from Madison Grant, we weren't blessed with talent the last 3 years, but the last 2 years specifically, we were in the top 60 in the state in defensive points allowed, and we weren't holding the ball, and we were turning it over a lot, so they were in transition a lot. So to be able to do that, our defensive averages were under 40 points a game.
Wow.
With limited talent. The problem was we scored about 27 points a game.
There's always a problem there.
Yeah. Now, offensively, I grew up, especially on the boys' side, as a motion guy. You grow up, you watch Bob Knight coach, and you see 4-out motion, and the people I was around early in my coaching career ran a lot of motion stuff. I've kind of taken that and making adaptations to it, and it's more of a continuity now as opposed to true motion. So it's, for lack of a better term, dictated motion. It's got motion principles, motion cuts, motion screens, but we're telling them where they're going to go as opposed to just letting them read and react only. Now, they do have the freedoms to, make plays when they come off a specific screen, catch the ball in rhythm, whatever. We'll help you get open, but then you've got to make the play. You've got to score the ball. And, again, right now they're just really starting to learn the patterns and timing and that kind of stuff. And that stuff will just clean up with repetition.
Tell us about some of your key players.
Well, we return quite a bit. Lily Toppin returns as our leading returning scorer. Very good shooter. Got some length, just works hard, really good mind for the game. Taylor Schoonveld is a senior. She's extremely athletic, can run and jump with just about anybody in our area. She's drawn a lot of interest for track because of that. Kate Thomas, point guard, very, very quick. Her and Taylor both played soccer. Lily was on the volleyball team they all had really good seasons in those sports specifically. Those three were, the top 3 scorers from a year ago, and it's real easy to see that in practice. Something we're going to do a little bit more this year is focus on the interior play, probably than fans have seen in the past, and that's where, Abby Grandchamp, who had a role last year, nice, really long 5'10" girl. She's a junior. She's going to get the opportunity to really be an impact player for us. But then a couple of 6'1" girls, Jenna Hayes, who's a sophomore.
A couple.
Yeah, and Jenna's kind of our, she's big, strong, offensive-minded post. And Faith Mauger is a junior, played in, I think, 5 games a year ago. But she's proven to be, very athletic, very active. Has a little bit of strength to her, but she's also very mobile, and we can play the two of them together at times, which is really nice. From there we've got, Lainey Capillary is another junior wing, very long, very bouncy, has experience. We've got Marissa Howard's a senior wing returning, and we've got an 11-person sophomore class. And
wow.
11
sophomores?
Yeah, and of them, 2 or 3 have already gotten their feet wet, and we'll probably see 4 or 5 play a little bit of varsity here and there throughout the year. It just kind of depends.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So it's exciting. We've got good numbers. We had, I think, 31 the first day. We're at 28 right now. So
awesome.
Holy cow.
But
so will you have a freshman team too?
Yeah, we do. They played last. That's
so you have 3 teams.
Yeah. Yep. So
that's awesome. So what I'm reading from you, your expectations can be pretty high then, huh?
Yeah, my expectations are pretty high, but my expectations are high no matter who's in front of us. You know? My expectations are not quantified by numbers. It's compete hard, play your tail off, and give yourself a chance to win from that angle, And if you do that, we can, as coaches, try to figure out the best way strategically to help you compete. So,
how do you know if you haven't been around this area about the conference? I can't remember
Northwest Crossroads.
Northwest Crossroads. What do you think about that, or do you have any idea yet?
We finished third last year out of 6 teams, and it's too early for me to comment on whether it's conference or sectional. I mean, honestly, I haven't seen many of them live.
Right.
And I don't want to, box myself in by they're either this great or this not great. And, And then, be stuck on that. I mean, I know some teams suffered some major graduation losses. Other teams have good young kids and are improving. And so, I mean, we have to show up, and that's always been my approach. Why? I'm not going to sit here and worry about everybody else on our schedule. We've got to get to a certain point to compete. And once we're there, then I'll start worrying about that. But right now we're not in a driver's seat where we can just dictate our every single game. So
when you open up and tell us who you play.
Well, I know every other coach in the state's envious of our schedule because we open up with Crown Point on Saturday night. And then we end up playing 4 games in the first 8 days. So we have them Saturday. We go to Valpo on Tuesday. The North Newton game then is rescheduled for Thursday, and then we host Couts next Saturday. So
that'll get you off a flying start there, huh?
The girls should enjoy it because there's not going to be a whole lot of practice in there, but we're going to have a lot of film work and a lot of prep work, and somewhere squeezed in there is team pictures, which is always the most fun day of the year. So we'll get through it. We'll figure it out, and we'll probably be better for it. But you look at January, for example, and I believe we only have 5 or 6 games in January, so it's got a lot of time to rest and relax and get healthy for the sectional.
Yeah, if I do remember, your schedule's a brutal one, isn't it?
Well, and that's what we were talking about. Coach Heimlich and I was, when no matter where you're at, whether you're at a 4A school or a 1A school, you look down your schedule and you can find 2 or 3 teams that are in the Sagarin 300 level ratings.
Right.
We don't have a single one from last year. I think the lowest rated team was 289 maybe or 290, something like that. So, I mean, we have to show up every game, and it's not about – it's not that we're not more talented than people, but they're capable of beating us if we take a night off or if we're not shooting it well. Or
just starting with Crown Point they have a girl from Purdue already, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean,
they've got a lot of –
yeah.
They didn't win –
Yes, they won 4A state. Yep.
All
so,
right. And you guys are 3A classified?
Correct.
Okay. Because I know KV went up to 4A
for a couple
a while.
years.
Yeah, they've been back and forth there.
Of course, that's when they won sectional.
Yeah.
Their first time around was when they bumped up to 4A.
What do you think? KV's got a reputation for having good girls basketball. That's got to help you out, too.
Oh, yeah, it's really exciting. And it's, this is what's kind of neat, though, is 3 of the previous 4 head coaches are still in the school.
Is that right?
And they're all very supportive. And, a lot of coaches would probably shy away from that. I embrace it. I think it's great because I can lean on them. They know the community. They know the people. They know the kids. Mr. Gray, our athletic director.
John Gray, good friend
Mike
of ours.
Sampson, who's on staff again with me.
Mike's a good friend of ours.
And then, Ryan Myers is our assistant principal now.
Wow.
So having those guys around, they're very supportive. They're
nice guys, too. All of them are nice guys.
Yeah. So, that's great.
And some of those names that like Lily Toppin.
Correct.
Boy.
2 older sisters.
Yeah.
And,
they were
and then being able to bring Bree back to be a varsity assistant, and then Carly is our freshman coach. It's nice to have that culture in the program.
Absolutely.
And something we do, which everybody does their own unique things, but I think this is very unique. And it'll sound funny, but I grasped it being in a fraternity. Okay, one thing we had to do when we were pledges was we had to interview every existing active brother. Okay. So what we do, or what I have done over the years, is I have my freshmen interview every current rostered player as well as the coaches.
Cool.
But I also have them certain groups of alumnus. They have to choose one person from each decade. And I think it's very important for them to understand the history of the program. And, they kind of think it's goofy. But my thing is, let's open some dialogue. Let's get to know what you're a part of. And,
right.
And it's just like the same thing from the standpoint of support. We will attend 6th, 7th, and 8th grade games as a team multiple times this year, because I think what's lost on the kids today is girls that are 3 years older than you affect your high school career, and girls that 3 years younger than you affect your high school career. Because when you're a freshman, the ones 3 years older are seniors, and vice versa. And so while you may not always be on the same team as far as varsity, JV, freshman, they're going to be in the gym with you. They're going to be working against you. They're going to be helping you get better. So I think it's very valuable for them to appreciate those younger kids. And, like last night, our whole varsity JV team sitting behind the freshman bench or the C-team bench while the game was going on, cheering, screaming loud,
That's awesome.
It's really neat. And
it's awesome.
KV has always had such great success and strength with your younger kids. How many times we've been to the
senior or go and they introduce the middle school and they run the whole length of the floor.
Baseline to baseline. Yeah.
So we numbers is great, but we'll make sure there's value there too. And so we want to get those kids really involved in the program at a young age. I know Coach Sampson is out recruiting ball girls right now to work every single game. And that's huge. I think it's really important to see that and to have those kids, because it's really funny. You don't think about this as a coach because you see all these kids year round, but I remember my last year at Whitco, we had a great senior class. We had a girl that played at Xavier and then Detroit Mercy. We had another girl that played at St. Francis. We had another girl that played softball at Huntington. We had a good senior group. Well, that year, one of our freshmen, the first day of practice, she's standing there like trembling. And I said, "What's going on?" She goes, "These are all the girls I used to look up to." And I'm thinking, you don't even consider that, as a coach. You're just like freshman, senior,
Right.
You don't look at it that way. And so, I think it's really neat to have that be a part of your program. Now I look back, one little girl who was always traveled with those teams when she was in 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. She'd go to shootouts in June. She'd come to all the high school games, be a water girl at Whitco, that kind of thing. Now she's going to start as a freshman at Columbia City, and she's already picked up a D1 offer.
Wow.
And it drove her passion for the game.
That's awesome.
And she comes up and says hi every time she bumps into me at a
pretty cool
travel tournament or something, and it's really neat just to see that, over the years. And so hopefully I get that opportunity here. So all these girls that are in kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, I get to see them as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, and just see that whole journey and be a part of that, because that's a lot of fun. So
I forgot to ask you, are you a teacher in the school system?
No. Full-time I'm a professional scout.
Okay.
I actually have a private recruiting service. I work with college coaches.
Uh-huh.
And, I write evaluations on kids from all over the state. They call me on a daily basis and just, hey, Coach, I'm looking for a power forward in the senior class, or I'm looking for a point guard in the
point them in that
sophomore
direction
class.
then, huh?
Yep, absolutely. And I don't, I've never offered a kid a scholarship, and I'm not telling them who they need to offer scholarships.
Right.
But what I try to do is hey, you the way you guys play, you might want to look at these 3 kids because they fit your system, they fit your talent level, and that saves them time. Then they're not watching 20 kids. They can narrow that down to 3 or 4.
That's pretty well needed service too, isn't it?
It was even more so during COVID when they couldn't be out recruiting.
I bet.
And a lot of phone calls during that time.
I bet there is. Well, Brandon, you've been a blast here. We really do appreciate you. Welcome into the area.
Thank you.
And we look forward to doing KB games. Our first one will be the 13th against Couts, and believe in the afternoon. But we
Saturday.
Sure hope you can make it every Wednesday here and be a part of our program. I know you talk to some of the coaches there. More and more will come in each week. And welcome to the area, and good luck, all right?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Brandon Bradley, new Kankakee Valley girls basketball coach, has been our guest. To wrap things up on the Coach's Cage program on 3kgthecage.com right after this.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can. and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
For over 60 years, Hamster Group has helped build America. In 1958, a small Northwest Indiana builder began constructing homes. Through the years, by following the motto, quality and integrity you can depend on, Hamster Group has grown. Today, Hamster Group's associated around the country with homes, schools, shopping malls, churches, medical buildings, and more. So for your next project, large or small, and quality and integrity you can depend on, call 219-956-3111 and speak with the experts at Hamster Group.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza, and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117 or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
You're listening to The Coach's Cage, presented by the Hamster Group.
Welcome back to Arnie's Pizza, where we're wrapping up our weekly Coach's Cage show. Had a little mixture tonight, the first time.
Little blend,
finishing up football. A little too early than we would like. As per usual, we haven't had a lot of luck lately. Here,
no,
Bobby.
we haven't.
We got to draw that out a little bit here, years to come. But it's always fun to start thinking about getting into the gym here, especially when it gets cold outside.
Yeah, no kidding.
Every time that door opens. Hey,
and no 18-minute half times either.
That's right. That's right. Folks, if you're looking for some great food before the big game, anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From the famous Wagon Master Sandwich to their great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel, a place where you can satisfy your hunger. You can stop or call the Wagon Wheel Grill at 219-866-9942. Whether you want to dine in or carry out your delicious meal, what satisfaction you'll have when a Wagon Master and chili combo is what you get.
All right. Again, next week will be the Coach's Cage on the 10th, right here at Arnie's for 6 o'clock on 3kgthecage.com. And then the next night on the 11th, Thursday, November the 11th, our season opener, it'll be girls basketball, Rensselaer Central Tri-County, and we're going to be shooting video for that one. So looking forward to that. And looking forward to the girls basketball season. I can't believe there was 28 girls for KV.
That's outstanding.
That's you take 2 or 3 teams in the A schools and
yes.
Add them all together. That only 28. So
it sounds like it's either again it's going to be a feast or famine here, Bobby. With, some of the smaller schools just struggling to stay alive, especially in the early few weeks of the season. Maybe you get out there playing and you can generate a little interest with your classmates, whatever it takes, but. Couple of squads, couple of schools going without JV teams, which we've seen it before. Hopefully, we don't see it a whole lot.
I don't know. I don't think the trend's going to go I think it's going to keep going the same way it is. I think.
You hear Twin Lakes is that now you start hearing schools that
Now,
size.
now Twin Lakes didn't have one when we did it a couple years ago.
Is that right?
They didn't have a JV team, so it's hitting everywhere now.
Jeez.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's going to do it. I'd like to thank all the sponsors for making the show possible, and we couldn't do it without our two guys behind the scenes here, cameraman and he's Mr. Variety, Jeff Gastineau.
Oh, no doubt
And
about it.
speaking of Mr. Variety, taking care of all of our electronic stuff over there, it's Scotty Miller. We couldn't do it without him, so really appreciate those guys.
Certainly.
And our team will be heading next week to the Coach's Cage show, and then Rensselaer at Tri-County Girls. So we'll see you next week, all right?
Very good.
That'll do it from here. For my partners, Bill Kay, Jeff Gastineau, Scotty Millers, is Bob Kurtz. So long, everybody.
The proceeding was a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.